Welcome back, fifth graders. We got module 4, lesson 15 today, the problem set, and we are multiplying non-unit fractions by non-unit fractions. So remember, the non-units means the numerators are bigger than 1. So we're going to be looking at like 2/12 times 2/3. So those two fractions are considered non-unit fractions. So let's get started with the first problem. All right, for this lesson, we're going to go ahead and read the directions for number 1. Same like the other lessons, we're going to solve. We're going to draw a rectangular fraction model to show our thinking, and we're going to write a multiplication sentence. So let's go ahead and zoom in or go down to 1b. So we have two non-unit fractions. We have 3/4 of 4/5. So we're going to go ahead and just write our number sentence out. We have technically 3/4 times 4/5. That is the expression we're trying to solve. We're going to go ahead and do our rectangular fraction model. And remember, we're going to always model the second fraction first. So we're going to do 4/5. That means 4 lines. We're going to label it. We're going to label the 4/5. So we're going to do pretty much all of them but 1/5. And we are going to now quickly just lightly shade in the 4/5. This is what's available to share, the 4/5. The other fifth is not available. It's gone or being saved for somebody else or for something else. So we can go ahead and shade in those 4/5. Now we want to share 3/4 of what we just shaded, 3/4. So we're going to go ahead and draw 3 horizontal lines going across to give us fourths horizontally, and the bottom row, the one above it, and the third one, that's technically 3/4. And so whatever we have shaded in the 3/4, we're going to double shade. I'll go ahead and do it in red. We're going to double shade the first row. We're going to double shade the second row. And we're going to double shade the third row. So whatever is double shaded is our answer. And so we can see that we have shaded 12 red squares out of, now we have 5 going across and 4 going up. So there should be 20 squares to represent this whole. This is technically one whole. So label that as well. Now 20 or 12 20ths is, we're going to double check to make sure it's in simplest form. So we're going to write the factors for 12 first. So we'll do easy one, 1 times 12. We know that 2 can go into it. So it's going to be 2 times 6. And we know the other one will be 3 and 4. And so what we're trying to find is which of these numbers will be over here on the right hand side. Well, first one for 20 is 1 times 20. That's an easy one. We do know that 2 times 10 is going to work. 3 times nothing will give us 20, so we'll skip that. We'll go to 4. We know 4 times 5 will give us 20 as well. And I think we're done. So I'm going to circle the ones they all share. They all share 1. They all share 2. And they both share 4. So looking at this, we want the biggest one. So we are going to use 4 as our number we're going to divide the numerator and the denominator by. And so we get a new fraction, equivalent fraction of 12 divided by 4 is 3, and 20 divided by 4 is 5. So we get 3/5 as our answer. All right, so let's go ahead and do 1D. Same thing. We have the problem 4/5 times 2/3. So using our fractional model as a visual, remember this represents one whole right here. It's kind of close to the other work that I had before, so I'm going to draw a little line, separate them. And so we're going to model the second fraction first, so 2/3. So we're going to go ahead and do 2 horizontal lines. That gives us 3 pieces, and we're going to label it 2/3, and we're going to shade it. If you have a colored pencil, you can do that. If not, you can just lightly shade. Don't darken it because we're going to be doing some double shading when we do our second fraction. All right, now we're going to do 4/5. So what I just shaded is 2/3. That's what's available to share, and I only want to share 4/5 of it. Pretty much I want to share almost all of this, but it's actually 4/5. So I'm not going to be sharing everything, just most of it. So I need to do 4 lines. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And so all of them, but the top row represents 4/5. And now whatever in the 4/5 is already shaded, I'm going to double shade. So I'm going to double shade with my blue. You can kind of now, if you're shading with the pencil, go a little bit darker so you see a difference. And this is what I'm sharing out of the whole entire whole. This is a new fraction now. So I'm going to write our number sentence again. We just did 4/5 of, which means times, 2/3. And how many are double shaded? Well, I have 8 out of how many? Well, 5 times 3 is 15, or I can count all of those squares. And now I'm going to go ahead and see, is 8/15 in simplest form? We're going to look at our numbers, our factors for 8 and 15. Well, easy one for 8 is 1 times 8. And the next one would be 2 times 4. And we'll stop there because there's only 4 factors for 8. Let's do 15. We have 1 times 15. And we have 3 times 5. There's no other. So that also has 4 factors. Now, the only number that they share is 1. And here's what happens when we only have 1. If we went ahead and divided the numerator and the denominator by 1, our fraction stays the same as 8/15. So 8/15 is technically already in simplest form. We cannot find the equivalent fraction with bigger pieces. So 8/15 is our answer. All right, for number 2, they just want us to multiply. That does say that they want us to draw a fraction model if it helps you, but we're going to see if we can do it without a fraction model. And with the example shown, it looks kind of complex with these like numbers being slashed off and the numbers on top, and we're going to actually skip that. We're just going to kind of do it the way that we've been learning it with the other lessons. So we know with multiplying fractions, we do not need to find common like units. All we do is multiply the numerators together and the denominators together. So technically, we're going to go ahead and do 3 times 5 on top and 4 times 6 is on the bottom. And now we're going to do 15 is the numerator and 24 is the denominator. And now we're going to see, is 15/20 in simplest form? We're going to find the factors for 15, which is 1 times 15, and 3 times 5. Now, one of these numbers, besides the 1, we never want to use 1 when we simplify. We want to see if 3, 5, or 15 are going to be factors for 24. Well, let's talk about the first one. 1 times 24, an easy one. Then we know 2 can go into 24 because 24 is an even number, so 2 times 12 works. And then 3 definitely goes into 24. That would be 8. And then I know that 4 times 6 also is 24. But we should also quickly see that the number they're going to share that we're going to use to divide by is 3. They both share 1, but we don't want to use a 1 because we look at the same fraction again. So we're going to take 15 and 24 and divide it by 3, which then 15 divided by 3 is 5, and 24 divided by 3. And if you didn't know that quickly, you can kind of look back at your factors over here. 24 divided by 3 is 8. So the fraction of our answer is 5/8. All right, moving on to the next page. All right, so we're going to do 2D. And so just as a review, remember the numerators get multiplied together. So we have 4 times 3. And the denominators get multiplied. So we have 9 times 10. And so we have our fraction of 12 90ths. Ooh, this is going to be a fun one to see if it's in simplest form. So let's go ahead and start finding the factors for 12. We know that 1 times 12 is definitely a factor. We know that 2 can go into it because it's an even number. 12 is an even number, so 2 times 6, and then we have 3 times 4. Okay, so now what we need to do is we need to find the factors for 90, but the thing is, we really just need to kind of pay attention to see which one of these numbers, or there might be a few besides 1, can also be factors for 90. So we do know that 1 times 90 is going to work, but we're never going to use 1. We don't want to use 1. So let's talk about 2. 2 is going to work because 90 is an even number. So if you actually think of 90, you cut it in half. So 2 times 45 would give us 90. We know that 3 is going to work. And the reason why I know is because if you take away this 0, it's 9. 3 times 3 is 9. So if you're thinking of 90, you're going to have 3 times 30. And since, we're kind of getting a little bit more where we're going to have to do some side math to figure out 4 times what would give us 90, let's just kind of use this 3 right here. This 3 is going to be the number that we decide to use to divide 12 and 90 by. So we have 3 and 3. 12 divided by 3 would give us 4. And 90 divided by 3, if you look over here, 90 divided by 3 will give us 30. Okay, and now I'm looking at this, and one clue is telling me this is not in simplest form because a 4 is an even number and the 30 is an even number. So when they're both even numbers, I can also go ahead and say, you know what? Let's divide the numerator and the denominator by 2. Which 4 divided by 2 is 2, and 30 divided by 2, you cut 30 in half, you would get 15. Now let's double check that 2 15ths is already in simplest form. So if I go ahead and list my factors for 2, I get 1 times 2, and 15, I would get 1 times 15, and 3 times 5. And that's it. And we now can prove that the only number they both share is 1. So we will say that 2 15ths is already in simplest form. And let's tackle a word problem. Let's go ahead and do number 4. Santino bought a 3/4 of a pound of bag of chocolate chips. So we can circle that. He used 2/3 of the bag while baking. What was the bag again? I'm going to draw an arrow. The bag is 3/4 of a pound. That's what he bought. But he used 2/3 of it. He didn't use all of it. The question says, how many pounds of chocolate chips did he use while baking? So let's think about this. He said he used 2/3 of the bag. So I'm going to put of bag. Well, we do know how much the bag weighs when he bought it from the store. It was actually 3/4. So now we can say that we're trying to find 2/3 of 3/4, which then we can go ahead and do 2/3 times 3/4 as our expression, which then we can say, okay, we're going to multiply the numerators together and we're going to multiply the denominators together and we're going to get 6/12. Now we're going to see what is 6/12 in simplest form. I can already see that 6 and 12 are even numbers, so I can divide them by 2, but I think there might be a bigger number that they both share. So I'm going to write my factors for 6. 1 times 6, 2 times 3. 6 has 4 factors. 12 has 1 times 12, 2 times 6, and 3 times 4. They have 6 factors. And the number that they both share, the biggest number, is, I see 2, I see 1, I see 3, and I see the biggest one, which is 6. And so 6 is the number we're going to use to divide the numerator and the denominator by 6. So 6 divided by 6 is 1, and 12 divided by 6 is 2. So he used 1/2 of a pound of chocolate chips while baking. So we can write our sentence, Santino used 1/2 of a pound of chocolate chips while baking. Some of you might be saying, well, if it tells us how much he used, 2/3 of the bag, how come the answer is not 2/3? And the reason is, really quick to show you, that technically here's a whole bag of chocolate chips, a whole 1 pound of bag. But Santino did not really buy a whole bag. He bought 3/4. So he did not fill the whole entire bag up. And so they're asking, out of a whole pound bag, how many pounds did he use if he used 2/3 of it? So if we went ahead and did 2/3 this way, by the way, this is 3/4 right here. And then if we did 2/3 going across, 1, 2, here's 2/3 right there. And I can just double shade this a little bit darker. So what I'm double shading is the 6 squares out of 12 of the whole entire 1 pound bag. Even though he didn't, buy a whole pound, he actually had a bag that could fit a pound of chocolate chips, but he did not fill it all the way. So that's why the answer is 1/5. So it could be a little confusing, but that is what the math tells us. All right. So that ends lesson 15. I will see you guys on the next lesson.